So this video covers lines 608 to 620, the second part of Venus's speech to Aeneas, and this is actually what she wants him to pay attention to and to look at. She had said aspike a few lines before. So let's dive in. Again, take a moment, pause the video, try and mark it as much as you can. So looking at this first sentence, I see ubi, that's definitely going to start some kind of clause. We don't exactly know where to end it. I mean, we see vides here, which of course is the main verb of the clause. And if we keep going, we see Neptunus is a subject. Now, vides, the subject of vides, of course, S means you, but Neptunus, third person singular as a subject, I'm thinking we could certainly end it either here or here. So we don't know exactly for sure where, but we'll keep going. I see quatit is a main verb, as is eruit. Marking other things, I see a prepositional phrase, a sedibus. Totam goes with urbem here, direct object. Magno goes with tridente, so something about with a great trident, makes sense for Neptune. Muros, walls, that would be a direct object. I also see another direct object, each and every day, neuter plurals and an a, fundamenta. Emota is describing fundamenta. So Neptune's doing something to some walls and foundations. And backtracking, this is not hic meaning this is rather a long mark hic meaning here. Inside this ubi clause, I see disiectas is going with moles, direct object. And again, each and every day, neuter plurals and an a, saxa, rocks, awolsa is modifying that, also a direct object. Now, seeing undantem fumum, I'm guessing, fumum here is accusative, direct object. And then mixto goes here, this nice little synchesis here, goes with polvere, ablative. Because I'm seeing a direct object here with fumum, and then all of a sudden we have Neptune as a subject with some more direct objects and a verb, I'm going to assume that the ubi clause probably ends here. So, piecing it all together, this is what Venus says. She says, here, where you see masses having been scattered, and what that means, or structures having been scattered, just meaning destruction in general, and where you see rocks having been torn apart from rocks, and where you see a swelling smoke with dust having been mixed in. So where you see all of this destruction of your city, Neptune, he shakes or shatters the walls, and with his great trident, he shakes the foundations having been moved, and eruit, he overthrows or tears up the whole city from its seats. She then goes on to point out what Juno is doing as well. Same deal. Hic here. We have Juno as a subject. Saivissima is describing Juno. And then we have another synchesis. Skaias is describing portas, direct object. Looks like prima is also going to be going here with Juno. Tenet, main verb. And then the second part of the sentence, I see socium augmen. And of course, this is a neuter noun, so I'm not 100% sure, is this my subject or is it a direct object? Probably have to figure that out based on a few other clues. A navibus is a prep phrase. Now, forens means to be in a rage. I'm assuming, since Juno is described as Saivissima, very cruel up here, that Juno is probably the nominative subject here with forens, because she's going to be in a rage. So I think I could safely assume that socium agmen is going to be some sort of direct object. All right? Wokat would be a main verb. And then akinkta looks like, aha, that's definitely nominative singular going here with Juno. So Juno's definitely going to be the subject of Wokat. So piecing all of this together, so Venus says, hey, look, Neptune's helping to destroy this city. It's not even the Greeks. It's the gods at this point. Furthering her point about this is not Helen's fault or Paris's fault. It's the gods' fault. Neptune himself is shaking the walls. And here, Juno, very cruel Juno, first holds the Skyon gates. The Skyon gates, that was one of the gates of the within the walls of the city of Troy itself. And in a rage, Akinkta, having been fashioned or girded with iron, she calls the friendly battle line from the ships. So we get this image here of Juno herself is fighting in battle. She's got weapons with her, and she's calling forth the friendly battle line, meaning the Greeks, from the ships. Remember, of course, the Greeks had hidden behind the island of Tenedos, but now they're storming the city. So Neptune is against you, Aeneas, and Juno is against you. She's already in the city fighting, and now, oh gosh, she's going to mention another goddess, and that's Tritonia Pallas, meaning, of course, Minerva, Tritonian Pallas. This harkens all the way back, by the way, to the Golden Apple, right? You've got Juno, now you've got Minerva, and of course the person speaking is Venus. In this line, I see Sumas Arches is going to be a direct object. There's some sort of, there's an imperative here with respice. Insedit, though, is a main verb. Effulgens, nominative singular, is describing Tritonian Pallas, meaning Minerva, our subject. Nimbo, Gorgone, Saiwa, those are all ablatives here. So Saiwa going with Gorgone. So this is what Venus says now. Now, look, Tritonian Pallas, meaning Minerva, what does she do? She occupies the highest citadels, and then she's described as gleaming or flashing in a cloud and flashing with the cruel Gorgon. That's a reference to the fact that Minerva on her breastplate has, traditionally she has Medusa, the Gorgon Medusa with the snakes embedded on there. So there she is, she's flashing in a cloud and with her cruel Gorgon, and she's occupying the highest citadels. Meaning, look, Aeneas, you don't have a prayer, just get yourself out of here. And then, in case Aeneas hasn't gotten the point, she ends her speech by saying, Ipse Pater, the Father himself, meaning Jupiter, the king of the gods, even he's against you at this point. So Ipse Pater is going to be our subject. I see animos is a direct object, as is vires secundas. And then sufficit would be the main verb. This part of the speech is considerably easier to translate and work through than the first part. Ipse, just referring back to the Father himself. And then we have Deus, direct object. I see a verb over here, in suscitat. And then in Dardana Ardma would be a prep phrase. In Dardana Ardma. Okay, so now just piecing it all together, she says, the Father himself supplies spirits and favorable strengths to the Greeks, meaning that Jupiter is really kind of like supplying the Greeks with their fighting power, their fighting strength. And he himself arouses or stirs up the gods against Trojan arms, against Trojan weapons. So Jupiter is actively now stirring up all the other gods to fight against the Trojans. And she ends her speech by saying, giving him some more commands. Eripe, fugon looks like a direct object. Impode, that is another command. Finem is a direct object. And in the last bit here, ab ero is a main verb. Future tense coming from ab sum, meaning to be away. So ab ero is I will be away. And then system, continuing that same trend, a then e forevermore. This is future tense. Tutum goes with te, direct object. And then patrio modifies limine, another synchesis. So what does she say here? She says, son, snatch up flight, meaning, dude, get out of here. And place an end upon your struggle. I will never be away, meaning I'm not going to abandon you. I will never be away. And I will stand you safe at your fatherly threshold, meaning I will see that you get back to your house safe and sound. And that's it. See ya.